Hey everyone, I don't know how really well you can see on here, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the verbal, and that is it. So let me just go ahead and read. First of all, pick the verse, of course. You can see this part, I'm sure, because it has a light on it. Matthew 14:24. So that's Matthew 14:24. And of course, this is a story about Jesus Christ walking and teaching in the earth. So let's see exactly what that verse is about. I'll read the whole thing, then describe the specific verse. So Matthew 14:24. Oh, okay, so the first title is, let's see, the subject of this is, let's go down to it. Jesus walks on water. That's a good one. Then Jesus made the followers get into the boat. He told them to go to the other side of the lake. He said he would come later. He stayed there to tell everyone they could go home. After Jesus said goodbye to the people, he went up into the hills by himself to pray. It was late, and he was there alone. By this time the boat was already a long way from shore. Since the wind was blowing against it, the boat was having trouble because of the waves. Between 3 and 6 o'clock in the morning, Jesus' followers were still in the boat. Jesus came to them. He was walking on the water. When they saw him walking on the water, it scared them. "It's a ghost," they said, screaming in fear. But Jesus quickly spoke to them. He said, "Don't worry, it's me, don't be afraid." Peter said, "Lord, if that is really you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus said, "Come, Peter." Then Peter left the boat and walked on the water to Jesus. But while Peter was walking on the water, he saw the wind and the waves. He was afraid and began to sink into the water. He shouted, "Lord, save me." Then Jesus caught Peter with his hand. He said, "Your faith is small. Why did you doubt?" After Peter and Jesus were in the boat, the wind stopped. Then the followers in the boat worshiped Jesus and said, "You really are the Son of God." So that's the scenario. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows in the Bible that Jesus walked on water, and that's the story of it. And it's just telling you how he did it. He told his disciples, "Go ahead and sail across the sea to the next place. I'm going to be there later. I'm going to dismiss this crowd who has come to me and they're asking for healing, etc. So I'm going to stay here and dismiss them good and heal them as much as I can all the way, and then I'll follow you later." So I'm sure the disciples were like, "How is he going to catch up? He must gonna borrow a boat from somebody else." But he didn't borrow a boat. Instead, what he did was walk on the water all the way to where they were. So when he got there, then Jesus saw his disciples in the boat. Peter was excited. He was like, "Oh, if that's you, tell me to come to you. If you can walk on water, I want you to." So he said, "Come." And he started walking. And then he lost his faith in his walk because, of course, if you're walking on water, you're standing there like, "I can't believe I'm really doing it." And in that non-belief, when you tell yourself, "I don't believe I'm really doing it," then that's when you fail and fall and you lose your faith and you can't do it anymore. So that's a good subject for us to teach us that whatever you have faith in, you can do. As long as you point your mind there in your direction, as long as you think you can do it, you can. Just like everybody knows the story, the little engine who could, the little engine that could. You know that story where he always said, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." If you think you can do it. But as soon as you doubt yourself, that's when fear starts coming in, etc., and you start thinking, "Oh, I can't do it," and making all the reasons up why you can't do what you wanted to do. So usually it's a great thing that you're working on, where you come in and you weigh the options in your mind and wonder, can I really do it? Can I do it? And it's a hard struggle, but just keep your mind in faith, keep your spirit with God, and you can definitely walk on water too. In a sense of things, walk on water. But I believe that a lot of us, we don't have this faith these days to walk on water. We don't even have the faith enough to try. So nobody you'll never see anybody walk on water because nobody's even trying to do it, unless you're like Chris Angel or some magician who has some kind of trick up his sleeve. But in the natural sense of things, to actually walk on water, that's something that we really don't believe. We're saying, "Oh, we're human. We're supposed to walk on land." Anybody who I've seen get in water who tried to walk, they've sunk. So I'm not even going to try. I can't do it. But maybe one day there will be that person of faith who actually believes and practices it over and over again until he actually has 100% faith and God's helping him and he walks on water, or he or she or whatever. Um, so it's all about faith. We lose faith in lots of things, but we should know that God can help us where we lack in faith. So just point ourselves to God and he can help you and me with everything we need help with. The specific verse said, "By this time the boat was already a long way from shore. Since the wind was blowing against it, the boat was having trouble because of the waves." That seems like an irrelevant part. It's not really necessary, but usually there's some kind of inspiration you can get from every line in the Bible. So I'm going to think about it. By this time, the boat was already a long way from shore. Since the wind was blowing against it, the boat was having trouble because of the waves. Hmm. So, Jesus is trying, in this scenario, Jesus is trying to get on the boat, and it was already all the way out from shore. Sometimes if you miss your boat, your chance, it seems like that you were just very close to it, and you almost got it, and you missed it. Sometimes that can be a good thing. Sometimes God spares you from things, because as you notice, it says that the boat was already a long way from shore, so pretty much Jesus missed it. But that boat went out there and started rocking because of it was having trouble because of waves. So it was a good thing that Jesus Christ was not on that boat, because he would have been rocking on it, although he can calm the seas himself. But if you or I went to that sea and said, "Oh, I missed the boat, I missed it," and it's already gone, um, be thankful you missed it. You don't know if there's a bomb on the boat or anything could happen. Any kind of destruction can happen to that boat. But luckily you were spared from it because God saw that that boat would have trouble. But don't worry, because guess what? You can catch up later. Whatever you missed, you can find another way. God will help you find another way through it. Like Jesus, it seemed impossible to man to walk on the water. But God, he looked up and said, "Oh, the boat's already gone. I can't even swim out a little bit to get it. They're way out there and it's having trouble. It's rocking." So instead, God provided a way for him to do a miracle, to do the unheard of, to just so he can get to that boat. But God will make a way for you. He'll do the unheard of. He'll do a miracle in your life just so you can get to that boat where you can show up where it looked like you weren't going to be at in the first place. And at the same time, it's another message in that if you already gone ahead and you are the ones on the boat and it's having trouble and the waves are crashing it, etc., and it looks like it's about to, flip over, then Jesus, don't worry, Jesus is right behind you. He's coming. He is on his way. You've already gone way ahead of him. You've gotten ahead of yourself, as many of us do in many things. We get ourselves into some stuff and it doesn't look like there's a way out. The boat starts rocking. We start getting in trouble in our own sense of things. And it looks like there's no way out. But don't worry, Jesus is right behind you. And next time, just make sure Jesus is the one out in front and lead. Even if he tells you to go ahead, ask him, "Hey, I like when you lead. You know, can I wait on you? You go lead the way and then I'll follow behind." But in this sense, in this scenario, they had already gone out because Jesus told him to go. And he's right behind them to calm the waters and help them be saved. So that was a big message. And what we can get from that is that be patient. If you miss your boat, another one's coming or another way is coming. God's going to provide it. And if you did catch the boat and you're way ahead of yourself, then don't worry. God's coming right behind you. Jesus is right there with you, and he's going to slow you down and calm the rocky waves and the emotions that you're going through that's making your life unstable. So don't worry, you're covered in all aspects. That's the whole general consensus of this. But I've been talking all day, and I don't really want to talk anymore. I think I said the whole point. So everyone have the best day, and talk to you later. Bye bye.